let's go ahead and talk about this Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. I lose track. The first one was, I thought it was a trailer. Come to find out it was a teaser. They say now this is a trailer right here. Some people saying it's trailer number 2.
I think MJ really likes me. That reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man.
You can be my hero. Go over to dtmerch.com. Check out all the stuff that we have there for you. Please, please, please support by buying some things. You know, I mean, it's not just buying some things. Think how sexy you're going to look in that black tee, that classic black tee with the white logo. Oh, look how stylish you're going to look making those calls in that phone with the DT phone cover right there. And give yourself the gift of choice. Got a new baby in your life? Don't let them spend another day in this world without that baby tee right there. And please go to doubletoasted.com and subscribe, donate, help keep these live streams going on our own platform. It's here that we can do whatever we want to do, say whatever we want to say without any interruption or censorship from everybody. And that's the case when you subscribe to doubletoasted.com. Every subscription, every donation helps to fight censorship out there. Look it up. It does. But regardless of what it is, a lot of y'all out there, you're watching this. And as I said before, you're getting excited. You're getting your hopes up. You see things in there that are making you think one thing. And I'm sitting back here and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, you bless y'all's heart. You poor people out there. You're being lied to. You're being deceived. And I'm here to help you out. Because I can't sit here and stand for you to just get your hopes all up only for when you actually see the movie, for them to take it and dash it. I think I just broke my keyboard. I'll get another one. Anyway, let's take that night. I don't want to rush into things. I want to let you know what's happening right here. I want to see if the keyboard actually changed anything over here, because if it did, I can't do anything about it now because it's broke. But I want to watch this trailer with you, and I want to go through carefully of what I'm talking about. Now, some of you might actually know what I'm saying. Some of you might be ahead of the game like me, or at least I think I am. You and I, we know what's going on. But for these other folks out here who may not, let us watch this trailer. Let us come back, soak it in a little bit, and then let's just have a discussion about why some of these people out here are being fooled.
You going to step up or not?
Damn, I love Spider-Man. Woo! I just want to go to this window right now and just yell at the neighborhood. I love Spider-Man. Boy, I can't wait for this movie, right? Don't get distracted. Don't let that take me off topic right here. And definitely don't let the charms of Spider-Man actually fool me from my objective here today for talking to you. We're looking at this and we're seeing this do a little something different that we don't see with a lot of trailers. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a trailer do before what this trailer did. And that is to come on and have Spider-Man himself tell you, please, please, please don't watch this trailer if you haven't seen that last movie, which we know is Avengers Endgame. And I want to just talk about this whole spoiler thing right here. You know, now, especially now that the Russo brothers have given us permission to put spoilers out there, because you know that they were the kings of spoiler talk before Avengers Endgame came out, when it came out. Listen, I'm sensitive to people who don't want to have things spoiled for them. I'm all for people who are saying, hey, hold off and at least let me leave the room before y'all start talking all this bullshit and ruin the movie for me. But come on, let's be serious. Let's be real, man. You know, if after 2 weeks you haven't seen the biggest movie in the world, which is Avengers Endgame, I'm sorry, that's on you. And you know this. Come on. You got to admit this. Listen, I'm not trying to berate you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not mad at you. I understand. I do. And I also understand that people, they have schedules. People, they have things to do in their life that might prevent them from, I don't know, after 2 weeks, going on 3, from seeing what is only the most talked about movie in the world. But yeah, I get it. I get it. If you haven't seen it and you don't want it spoiled for you, I understand. But if that's the case, take your ass to a cave. Seriously, if you haven't seen the movie, you have to expect for it to be spoiled for you. You have to give people that pass. Hell, you don't need Spider-Man to tell you that. I mean, come on. I wouldn't even put that on there. You know what? I would have put something at the beginning of this trailer. I would have had Tom Holland come out and say, "Haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet? Fuck you." That's your fault. So I don't even know why they put that on there, but that was nice of them. They're nicer than I am. But I've never seen that before in a trailer. That just goes to show you how big this property is. This is what they've created, how big this is, how much of a cultural phenomena this whole thing is. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is so big now that they can get away with things that when I was a kid, they couldn't do. Like, y'all know what line I'm talking about.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Did Nick Fury just call Spider-Man a bitch?
Does he look like a bitch?
Well, according to you, he does. When I look, it's weird to see how things have changed, man. When I was a kid, if you said bitch, that damn near got you an R rating in your movie. Forget saying that on TV. And I remember the first time they said it. I mean, people started, well, I might be exaggerating. People weren't fainting, but they damn near came close to it. That alone sells the movie right there. I love it because maybe one day Samuel Jackson, he will actually live. Maybe one day, I don't know, maybe we'll see him call Peter Parker mother. Maybe he'll get that. Maybe he'll get that whole word that whole word out before he's turned to cigarette ash.
Mother.
I almost had it. It's bitch is cool. We'll take progress as it comes. But let's admit, bitch just don't have the power that motherfucker does. Let's talk about one of the biggest things that's mentioned in the trailer that has people so excited about what possibilities could possibly happen from this.
This is Mr. Beck. Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
Now, oh my God, did he just say multiverse? As in multiple universes? As in we can start pulling things in from, because this makes things possible now. This could be the explanation for everything. With them talking about multiverses at this point, the potential for what they can do is extraordinary. I mean, at this point, it really does explain everything. Oh, forget all these complicated theories out there. Multiverse, just open up a portal. Boom. We got the X-Men. Open up another portal. Boom. Fantastic Four came through. Oh, that's how all these people were able to exist without crowding the world so much with superheroes. Maybe now we can see Tom Holland's Peter Parker web slinging and swinging around the city with a live action Miles Morales. I mean, at this point, we can get a whole live action multiverse. At this point, let's just go crazy. Let's go ahead and get that Peter Parker and Howard the Duck team up in live action. Just slide through a portal. Because why? We got multiple universes out there that we can just do anything with. With Tony Stark just gone and poor Peter Parker over there crying, father figure gone in his life. It's good to see that he's got somebody who's able to immediately step in. And that is Quentin Beck, a.k.a. Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. While they're talking about he's not from this earth, because the Thanos snap just messed up everything out there. This guy, saying that he's not from that he's from another Earth. There's no telling how. I mean, 'cause let's admit it, the Avengers they probably just fucked up things out there, man. You know, people's lives are ruined. People are coming back home to their spouses married to somebody kids they ain't seen before. People have lost their homes because they couldn't pay their mortgage while they were gone. Chances are that Quentin Beck, his life is just as confusing too. And maybe he needs Spider-Man as much as Spider-Man needs him. Being that we have new enemies out there, bigger enemies that are probably a byproduct of Thanos' snap, and those are the elementals that we see. You know, those are foes that he's probably going to need Spider-Man's help with. And as they said in the movie, you know, most of the bigger heroes are either busy or they're gone. Stark is gone. Thor's on another world. Captain Marvel, well, she's always told you, look, unless y'all really got some shit going on, don't call me. I'm busy as it is. So this could be just a great team up in a way, probably, hey, he seemed like a good guy. He's handsome. He's got a cool beard. Hey, this is a guy that could probably fill the void of some of the heroes that are gone. You know, it all makes sense. There's so much exciting potential that's here to bring in new heroes and new characters and bringing in these new properties that we didn't know how they were going to be brought in before. Of course, multiple universes. Why didn't I think of that? Because it ain't happening. That's why. Wake up, people. This is what I'm talking about. You're being misled. You're being fooled here. I might even drop that word hornswoggled. You know, y'all know what's going on here. Don't be fooled by this man giving these big brother speeches to Peter Parker.
What do you want, Peter? I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel.
Oh, listen to him lending like a kind ear to Peter. The man's an asshole. If y'all have ever followed the comics at all, even just a little bit, you know that this dude, Quentin Beck, he ain't shit. He ain't no good. He's a villain. I know Marvel changes things, but why all of a sudden they just gonna flip the script where one guy just who came from being a villain just all of a sudden with no explanation is a hero. Y'all know Quentin Beck as Mysterio. If there's anything that could ever with Spider-Man's mind, it's Mysterio. This guy, he's an effects artist, he's an illusionist, he's a stuntman, he's a fighter. He's learned how to fight just from the fighting stuff that he's done for movies. He's an illusionist, and on top of that, if that wasn't enough, he's a hypnotist too. You know, you think with all those skills that he has that his phone wouldn't stop ringing because he's in so much demand, but according to the comics, that is not the case. He feels like he's not getting enough respect for all those skills that he's got. And so he decides to use his deceptive powers for evil. And so what he does with that, he robs banks. And on top of that, he says, you know what? I might even just kill a superhero. I mean, imagine if I killed Spider-Man, the dude that villains who have superpowers couldn't even do. Imagine me, a magician and a stuntman, taking out one of the biggest dudes in the city. And honestly, while I'm saying you're being fooled, and while I'm saying that this is something where you're being deceived, actually this is great marketing. And if I'm right, then I'm about to ruin it for you. Because here's what I think. And again, you know, I had all my theories about Endgame, so there's probably a 90% chance that I'm wrong. I'll even bump it up to maybe 98. Imagine that you have this guy who, after, you know, in a post-Thanos world, after this snap, and all these people are grieving, all these people are confused, all these people are trying to adjust. You got this man that comes in who wants to use his skills to actually not help, but fool people, because he has some sort of hero complex. Sort of like, imagine when 9/11 happened, and you know, sadly, there were people out there who were lying about being a hero. Now imagine in this, which, you know, is kind of a post 9/11 world here, you got this guy who's coming out and taking advantage of that. He's even able to go in and fool SHIELD. Maybe he has some sort of like chemical that causes hallucinations and mass hysteria, and SHIELD is called in not even knowing what this guy is capable of. This whole thing about him being from another world or another Earth, a complete lie. He knows that time travel was probably involved. He knows that something happened where people went back in the past and maybe even fought themselves. He knows something. He's using that to his advantage. I think that will be the case. And I think that's amazing if they do that, because what it's doing is it's dealing with the effects of, and what we were always saying, the fallout of what happened with Endgame. Nothing in this world can fall back in place that easily. They're going to have to address problems in this. And that's how they're going to actually make him a guy that you dislike so much. Now, it's one thing to go in and take advantage of all these people out there, but to get close to someone like Peter Parker, and this is what I think is going to happen. I think with this whole, cool uncle father figure replacing the other father figure of Tony Stark, I think that he's going to come in and know that Peter Parker's grieving, and he's going to take advantage of that. And he'll find a way to manipulate that because, well, he's an asshole. Because he truly is a villain. Sitting up here taking advantage of this poor boy's misery and sadness. To me, that's a great villain, because that's not someone who wants to conquer the world. It's not someone who's out there who even wants money. I can understand wanting money. Now, imagine if this is a guy who's just sick in the head and just wants, because of his massive ego and insecurities, just wants to be admired. That's, to me, I won't even say it's just completely evil. It's just sick in the head. And I would love if they did that with that villain right there. Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal, I think they actually cast him to go against what we saw originally with Quentin Beck. Quentin Beck, when he was made back in 1964 by Stan Lee, Stan Lee and I don't know if it was Steve Ditko, whoever. I know Stan Lee didn't do it by himself, but back then he was no Jake Gyllenhaal. He was the anti-Gyllenhaal. He had like a boxer's face. He had, where he's been beaten several times. He's got that bowl haircut. I mean, he's even uglier than he got that Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber thing, except uglier. What they're doing, though, I think they're going against type by making him sort of a handsome guy. Also, let's not forget that at one time, for those who remember, Jake Gyllenhaal was rumored to be Spiderman after Tobey Maguire busted his back. That never happened. I think that this whole thing with Avengers Endgame, how it can go in and affect the Marvel Cinematic Universe after this, there's so much promise. Not only think about it, there's going to be so many people. Not everybody's going to be happy about the Avengers going in. People, no, they're pissed at Thanos. Don't get me wrong. People that was a completely shitty thing to do. But it was 5 years. We moved on. I was just about to get my credit straight. And then, my husband had to come back and fuck up everything for me. There are people going to be upset. Imagine if they're going to be not only heroes to come out of this, but I'm looking forward to the villains. Think about the villains who are going to say, I can never, you guys, you kind of messed it up. And I can never let this happen again. You're going to have villains that come out of this. Not just people with piss, but super villains who are going to say, who's going to protect people against the Avengers? And some of these people that are going to want that, these are people that are going to be, people with powers too, and they're going to be super villains. Looking at you, Doom. That's when I want to come in. If that's the case, then this is a great trailer that we got right here. And it shows how much Marvel has to work with after everything that we've seen with Avengers Endgame. I was the one that was watching Endgame, and my wife even told me, she said, what's going to happen when these people come back? It's great that the Avengers did what they did. And even look at the Avengers. I hope that they kind of address that. Hey, look, not all of you did this I would love if somebody addresses, not all of you did this because you really want to help the world. Some of you did this out of your own selfishness. You want to bring people that you love back. Now, there's some other things in the trailer besides what I'm talking about right here happening. as I said, I love Spider-Man, and there's a lot of things in here that I love about Spider-Man, that I love with what they've done with this movie. And talking about the father figures in Peter's life, if Mysterio is going to be a villain, if my predictions are correct, you will have somebody coming back into his life, and that'll be Happy Hogan. That just a little bit that we saw in the trailer right there, of them arguing with each other about the phone, who's going to answer the phone with Stark. I thought that was great. I think it's actually kind of cool if he comes in and he's, I won't say replacement for Stark, but he comes in, he's the new male figure in, or I'll go ahead and say it, father figure in Peter Parker's life. I mean, shit, he's not going to even be father figure at that point. To hell with that. He's going to be daddy the way he's trying to get up in Aunt May.
Happy.
You look nice.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. New dress?
Yes, it is. How'd you know?
Yeah, boy, he's like, shit to hell with father figure, boy, I'm your new daddy. I'm moving in at some point. I love this. I like the way Happy Hogan ain't even hiding. He's looking straight at them titties right there. He's not even trying to cover it up. There's a chance that they could go in and make Mysterio a hero instead of a villain. They've been known to change characters in here before. I'm looking at, I really love what they've done with Flash. Flash is not the typical high school bully that we knew before. I like that. In a way, I like that Flash is actually getting bullied himself by Europe.
Here in St. Marco Polo. Oh.
I love that the random nut punch. I don't know if that's a thing in Europe. A random drive-by nut punch. I've never had it myself when I was in Europe, but I love that it's happening to him. This is what I love about just Marvel before, where you can have, and they've done it with, we talked about that with Endgame, how these heroes that are larger than life are just mingling with regular people. I love that cop, the one that didn't have a sense of humor. I love that Spider-Man just hanging out with the neighborhood cops and just talking shit to them.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
What?
This cop over here, he was almost like Nick Fury. Bitch, please. Who the f- are you talking to? He's like, hey, if you want Spider-Man, I'll brutalize your ass right now. I love that. Spider-Man just hanging out with regular people and just talking to people. And people not even, maybe it's because it's New York and people have seen everything. But I love that the cops are just kind of like, we're just chilling with Spider-Man, cracking jokes. Yeah, you're going to be the next Tony Stark. I'm Spider-Man. I really like the way that the things are shaping up between Mary Jane and Peter Parker. For one, Mary Jane finally looks like she took a shower. She don't look as greasy as she did before. She looks actually attractive here. But I love that, we've been waiting on this to happen for a while. And I like it that they are starting to get a little bit closer. I like that Mary Jane is not, she's not the usual Mary Jane that we've seen. I love that she's kind of a nerdy, kind of outcast chick herself, just like Peter. I can see why they get along now. I mean, let's all admit, that regular Mary Jane, she was too hot for Peter Parker when he was in his nerdy days. This makes sense, that she's actually on his level. I'm not saying he can't pull. Y'all know Peter got a thing for them biracial chicks. He pulled a hot one before, so I ain't trying to say he ain't got no game. Especially now that people know he's Spider-Man. That's one of the things that I want to, that we'll have to see how that works out, because we still don't know if she's messing with him. But I wonder how people feel about Mary Jane knowing that he's Spider-Man, or at least that they tease that. Whether my theory is right or not, it really is great to see how they are going in and continuing what happened with Endgame. I really do like that this, and this is the one that's supposed to end this phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I like how it's tied in. I like that this is a world that's grieving the heroes, especially Iron Man. But it seems, even though it's a quieter, way to end this phase, it definitely seems fitting. And I can't wait to see what they do, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's everything that I love about Spider-Man. It's everything that I love what they've done with this whole world here. And I think that this is going to be out. I'm just going to check for myself one more time, if you don't mind. I think this is going to be out on I think July 5th is what it said. Take a look here. And if that little player can get out the way. July 2nd. See, that's why I got to double check. July 2nd. All right. That's going to be a big 4th of July weekend. Can't wait. You guys let me know how you feel. I'm sure we got some people in the chat. Maybe I'm going to go check on them. But if not, please leave your comments wherever you see this. What do you think about my theory? What are your theories on this? Think I'm right? Think I'm wrong? Want to debate? Want to go head to head? Want to fight? Let's do it. Leave your comments down there, and maybe we could talk about that on another show. Thank you for watching. Appreciate that very much, and can't wait to hear your take on Spider-Man Far From Home.